creativity has no boundaries or limitations.
And nobody can hear you go.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Kunda. I'm your host for the Lighthouse channel, and welcome to this week's show, the show where we push for personal progress and prosperity. This week, I would like to talk about coming up with a business idea. I think this is one of the hardest steps when starting a business. And a lot of people struggle with this phase, which is like step one in a way. And because they struggle with this, they never really take off or ever start a business. And it doesn't even matter whether you've got the resources or not. Sometimes you may have the money which you can invest in a service or a product, but because you don't have an idea, you find that you don't know what to do. And I've seen this a lot on entrepreneurship pages where people post, I've got 10,000 kwacha, what business do you think I should start? I've got 1,000 kwacha, what business do you think I should start? I've got a 30,000 kwacha, what business should I start? So people may have the resources, but because they don't know how to generate an idea, you find that they stay stuck. So that's why I want to talk about how to generate a business idea. So entrepreneurship is a personal journey. It's a very personal journey, and it's largely dependent on you as a person. So when you're thinking of starting a business, you have to look within yourself. And I think this is important before you even look outside. You have to examine yourself. What sort of knowledge do you have? What sort of skills do you have? What sort of talent do you have? And what sort of gifts do you have? And you need to make sure that you do an inventory of those things for you to figure out what sort of business you would want to start, what you like, what you enjoy. And that will help guide you in the idea generation process. So you have to first look at the skills that you have, the talents that you have, or the gifts that you have. Because every business is about service. Every business is about giving. And the truth of the matter is you cannot give what you don't have. Regardless whether you see there's an opportunity, even if if you examine the market and you found that there was a huge demand for musicians, for example, and you're thinking, oh, I would like to be a musician because musicians are making money. If you don't have the voice, or if you don't have the skill of playing an instrument, you're not going to survive in that market. You're not going to excel because you have nothing to give in that market. You don't have the voice, you don't have the music, you don't have the skill. So you can only join that industry if you are gifted or if you have any skills related to music. So if you looked at the market and saw there was a huge demand for bakers, cakes are selling or whatever, food stuff. If you don't have the skill, if you don't have the know-how, you're not going to be able to do it. So it's very important that when you're starting a business, you examine yourself. You look at yourself and you look at the skills that you have. And among the skills and the gifts that you have, pick one that you can start to use to generate money. That is one of the most important steps, I believe, when you're starting a business. I remember when I was starting a business where me and my business partner. So one of the challenges that I faced whenever I did an inventory of myself is I really didn't have skills that I could monetize. And my gift, which I believe is speaking, and which I think my skill is also speaking, it generated me a few coins here and there, but it wasn't as sustainable as I would like it to be. So when we were starting the restaurant, I was trying to figure out, I don't like cooking, to be honest, and I don't I only cook because I have to, but it's not something that I enjoy. It's not something that I would even, I've stayed for months without ever cooking. I've managed to get away from it. But when I started the restaurant, so what we did is I partnered with someone who had the skills in the kitchen. And that's what made us a good team. I had the business skills and acumen, and she had the skills and know-how of a kitchen. And that has been the fundamental part of us succeeding, or even just staying for as long as we have in the industry. So you have to look at what skills you have when you want to start a business. Look at your skills, look at your gifts or your talents, and use any of the gifts or talents that you have to start your first business. So that is what I wanted to share with you, and that's an important step for you if you are in the idea generation step. And I hope that it will be useful to you and it will be helpful as you start your entrepreneurship journey. It's so nice to be here with you, and that is it for me. Till next week, I love you all. Take care and bye bye.